Hello, my name is Potwasher and I won the ExG Tournament Challenge Tournament number 8. This video will be a revised part 1 of a review of the top 16 matches I played that were streamed on twitch.tv slash accessorivindy. And this is Potwasher versus Azure, losers round 4. I'm playing Daria Rune, Albert Sword, and Wolfbolt Forest against Azure's Control Blood, Guardian Sunhaven, and Wolfbolt Forest. I was expecting a Forest ban since my Wolfbolt Forest is favored against both Control Blood and Control Haven, but he ended up banning Daria Rune, and I banned Control Blood because I felt a little bit more comfortable playing against Control Haven than against Control Blood with Daria and Albert, which I was expecting to play those two into his lineup. And yeah, so he ended up banning Daria Rune. Let's go into game number 1. And it's a Forest Mirror, and Azure is going second, I'm going first. The mulligan here, I keep Elfchild May and Ancient Elf, and Azure keeps Sylvan Justice going second. Here, Elfchild May seems like an easy keep, but going first, you actually don't have much of a chance to play it until turn 3 most of the time, because the target you want to hit with Elfchild May is Fairy Circle. Fairy Circle, Fairy, and then react to it using Elfchild May. Whereas you can't do that until turn 3 going first. Same thing with Ancient Elf. You can play it on turn 3, but it's just going to be a 2-3 ward. Not that strong. I'm not planning to use it turn 3, which means I could have thrown it away, and I've been throwing it away a lot of the time. The thing is, Ancient Elf is a very key card in this matchup. You can recycle your Mays and your Roaches, do chip damage with May Roach or Fairy Roach Ancient Elf, or Roach Ancient Elf later in the game. Set up for lethals that way, and set up a ward. Wards are very important. Tia and Ancient Elf are some of the key cards in the mid game in the Forest Mirror. So I could have tossed it, but I chose to keep it because it's a very flexible card. Sylvan Justice going second. You can react to a Fairy Circle. It acts kind of like a May that doesn't have a 1/1 body in that scenario, and it's alright. I ended up playing out a Goblin Mage, very good, and he didn't play out the Fairy. If he had kept track of my cards, he would know that I kept 2 cards in hand, and if he was card counting, then he would know that I had 2 cards still that I kept in mulligan, so it's very high chance that I had a May. If he wasn't card counting, if he wasn't looking at where I played the cards from, then he would still know that I would have at least one thing I kept in mulligan besides Goblin Mage, which could be possibly like a second Goblin Mage or May, or yeah, and from the Goblin Mage it's 50% to get a May, so it's very likely to get a May. So just not playing out the Fairy, very smart on turn 3 going second. It would have just gotten sniped, and it buys him 1 HP on this EPM. Doesn't turn out to matter too much, but nicely played. I played out the 3/4 Ancient Elf the past turn because if he played out an EPM and EVO'd, I couldn't deal with a 4/5 very comfortably. And that's why I played out the 3/4. I wanted to keep on pressuring. This is kind of a weaker turn, but still pretty good. 2 things on board. You can't really it's hard to deal with this comfortably. Also, you can see he kept the 0 mana Goblin Mage in hand, after playing Fina Evo last turn. And with this specific deck, you don't want to keep Goblin in hand, unless you're going to combo it like pretty much the next turn or 2 turns in the future, using a Roach combo that would take 3 that plays out Roach 3 times or more. So Roach, Guidance, Roach, Roach, or Roach, 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 or something like that. Because if you just play the 0 mana Goblin Mage with 1 Roach in the combo, then it deals 2 damage with this 0 cost. Whereas if you got this Goblin Mage out and if it was able to attack face once, it's already 2 damage, so it's already worth it to play it out and get the board presence, which means he has a Tia in hand. That's the conclusion I came up to, and I knew he was gonna play Tia, and it was kind of difficult. Could have considered like evolving in place. That doesn't make any sense. Draw Goblin Mage, play it out immediately. Really the card I was looking for. If you look at my hand here, turn 7. Sorry for the bad quality. Okay. 2 0 cost fairies, May, Sylvan Justice, Guidance. So 0 cost, Guidance, 1 Roach. Goblin Mage getting Roach is a huge deal, but this is the second May, so it was a 75% to get this Roach. The plan here, I don't have any wards at all, which means my plan is to suicide this White Wolf and get lethal turn 9. This is about the only win condition with this light hand that I could see. So here, I Sylvan Justice May, and I'm not even going to try to get rid of this Tia. I'm just trying to keep it as a suicide target for next turn, and he can't suicide this Eve into the 2/2 or anything, and I'm not even going to get rid of it. He can pressure hard, and if I suicide and next turn he has lethal, then that's too bad, but that's the only way I can win with this hand. I played Sylvan Justice because it doesn't decrease my hand size, and I would have enough cards with Silverbolt and this fairy and the 0 cost and the Roach to have lethal already without the Sylvan Justice on turn 9. Here he trades into the 2/2, attacks, and then plays Guidance. And not very good for him. And then he proceeds to draw Sylvan Justice. So he missed 6 damage, and he could have had a 6/4. The 6/2 ward is really, really weak. I can just Evo a fairy into it, and for example, if I had one more Roach, then I actually have lethal without Silverbolt or anything. With I could possibly have lethal with Fairy Fairy, Fairy, maybe another Fairy or something, 1 cost, and then Evo a Fairy, Roach, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 7, 8, and then that's already lethal without the Evo point, and using the Evo point to suicide into the Eve. So this 6/2 board, you can suicide into it, you can Sylvan Justice it off, although I used one Sylvan Justice the turn before. It's just really, really weak. The alternative play that I most likely would have done was Ancient Elf. Not play the Angel of the Ward. Ancient Elf. He has... Okay, let's look at the turn again. Yeah, pass. And draws Ancient Elf. Ancient Elf here, if you play out Ancient Elf, your hand size goes from 8 to 7, and that means you can pick up 2 cards, and then the Eve gets burnt. So I would just set up a 4-5 ward. Go face with all 3. Ancient Elf, burn the Tia, play out May and or Angel the Word. Try to set up a ward every turn. Or something similar. You have a lot of damage in hand. You got these Silver Bolt, Silver Wolf, White Wolf that collects the Silver Bolt, meaning you have a ton of damage. You have 2 roaches, 2 guidance. It's a ton of damage. I would have preferred to see something like that, and especially push damage with this Eve. And try to pick up the Tia. Those were the 2 things that I would have tried to do with this turn. But instead, he leaves up a 6-2 ward. And this is another... Okay, this isn't a very hard turn. Now I'm at 18 health, and he has 2 board slots clogged, meaning I'm very, very safe here. He doesn't have any zero cost things at all, and I'll have 9 cards in hand next turn. He can't play Tia without a fairy circle or something that doesn't take up the hand. And here he chooses to make an Ancient Elf 4-5 size. And yeah, I was thinking about this a little bit earlier. Even Tempo Tia might have been okay. Or just put in 6 damage, or throw in the Roach, or Evo the Ancient Elf in place. That could have been a very interesting play as well. One Evolve point, I'd be forced to kind of suicide a Roach into that, something like that, or shoot the Bolt at it. And here, I took a long time on this turn during the actual game, so I roped out a little bit and didn't play completely efficiently. But I actually have a 66% lethal because I already drew and played 2 Mays and 1 Roach, meaning there's 2 Roach and 1 May that the Goblin Mage, 0 mana Goblin Mage can pick up. And if I Phoenix Evo Goblin Mage, Fairy, 0 cost Fairy, takes up 3 slots, well, Silver Bolt after dropping the Goblin Mage to make sure you got the Roach. And that doesn't decrease hand size. 9 damage, and then Fina, Goblin Mage, that's 2, Silver Bolt, that's 3, Fairy, that's 4, and then Roach, 5-6. 5-6 plus 9 is over 20, so I had a 66% lethal here. I was trying to calculate that out. There were some like board space things, and I can't use guidance and things, and it's a little bit complicated. So I randomly shoot the Silver Bolt here, but it turned out to not be enough, and if I had enough time and drew the May, I wouldn't have shot the Silver Bolt because of Fairy Beast. Even with Fairy Beast, it's still pretty fine, but yeah. And then here, play Sylvan Justice, Fairy, Tia. Except Tia... Yeah. And trades double. I'm not sure if I'm a fan of that. Yeah. He just wasn't able to pressure hard enough, and I draw into Goblin Mage. Goblin Mage is 100% Roach, and So 1, 2, 3, and then 4 damage, and then 5 damage. Guidance Roach. You have enough mana to do that. 3, 4, 5, and then second Roach, Guidance Roach, is 5 mana, so that's 10 mana. And it's 100% lethal here. So the Goblin Mage pickup and the Fina pickup, huge this game. Goblin Mage turn 6 or 7 or so, and also this the Fina draw somewhere around turn 9, a little bit before turn 9. I had it in hand by turn 9, and that was very important. And then this Goblin Mage top deck here, so yeah, not a lot of wards or anything, and it was hard, but a lot of combo potential in my hand. That's what Azure's hand kind of lacked last game. And that's game 1. Game 2, I'm playing Sword against either Forest or Haven. And Azure decides to queue in with Forest one more time. And Sword is going second, and Forest is going first this game. So, mulligans here. Azure has a pretty simple mulligan, just toss the Tia, and for me, I had a lot of trouble with this. I really wanted to keep Albert. 5/7 stats are really hard to remove as Forest, but I'm going second, and it's not. I'd like a play before that. I want a 3-drop. I want other 2/2s and things like that. So I toss. Keeping Quick Blade or not, it's a very difficult question. And generally, you keep Quick Blader going second against Forest, but keep going first, you toss it. And that's because of Elf Child Mate. And against this specific Forest list, the only 1 mana play is Fairy Circle. And he plays Fairy Circle, and I play Quick Blader. He can't get rid of the Quick Blader until turn 2. It's a big deal whether or not you. That wasn't explained very well, but Quick Blader is better turn 2, going second against Forest than going first, just because of Elf Child Mate. And it's worth tossing against Forest going first. Also, Swing going second, it's again it's a viable play against Fairy Circle. It's pretty good later in the game, and you're also very likely to draw 2-drops, so there's a low chance that you're gonna break if they pass and you can't shoot it. It was possible to toss this. Azure plays Fairy Circle into Fairy Fairy. And here, for the next turn for Sword, there was a decision between Postal Swing and Veteran Lancer. I decided to go for Veteran Lancer and trade in one. This makes the possible Ancient Elf 3/4 size, and I can evolve into that turn 4. I can Postal Swing it off and have a 2/2 and the 2/2. It's alright. If I Postal Swing here, it just makes a smaller board, kind of more reactive, and it's not very good against May. He likely doesn't have May because he played Fairy. Then the other card would be Angel of the Word. So I would only have 1/1/1 against an empty board. turn 2 here, and I decided that I'd rather have this 2/2 here. With Angel the Word, it'd be the same, and I get to keep the Wholesale Swing, which is a reactive card. You usually want to keep reactive, it has an immediate effect. You want to keep those kind of cards in hand and play out cards that don't have an immediate impact onto the board first. Here, Angel of the Ward is very strong. 2/2/2s. It's likely he has an Elf Child May. He doesn't, but here, 2/2/2s is hard to get rid of on going first. So, very good. Only cards are like Sylvan Justice. He draws into the third roach. Really, really weak. Yeah, the only play is the Glimmering Wings. It's very, very bad draws, fortunately. And here, we're on to the second Novice Trooper. And I decided to go for Novice Trooper Evolve. So, the most likely 5-mana play is Fina. That's the scariest 5-mana play that you can do. And I have Wholesale Swing in hand, so if I make it a 4/4, then the 5/6 trades into the 4/4. The Fina is left at 2 HP, and I can Wholesale Swing it off. Otherwise, it'd be difficult to deal with 5/4. I'd have to suicide something in. A lot of lag there. Yeah, and I get to do the planned Wholesale Swing plus Novice Trooper. Novice Trooper here, made later into Albert, I can possibly evolve that turn 9. I just decide to keep my Evo points here. If I Evo the Knight and go face, with the Novice Trooper, I'm more susceptible to something like Will of the Forest, and I don't have any Alvidas or anything, which I could take advantage of the board being clear and not doing anything for turn. Here he goes face with the Roach for 2 mana, and then makes a 5/4 Ancient Elf. I don't think this is very good. This is because I can just trade in. 2/2 is the most common size, and 2/2, and there's also Geno and anything, and there's Tsubaki. Just a bunch of different ways to get rid of it. If you roached into the 2/1 and evoed into the 1/1, then I would have 1 less 1/1, and it'd be a 4/4, which is practically the same, except it can't be targeted by Tsubaki, so almost just strictly better. Here there isn't really much of a play. Fairy Beast heals 5 and then kind of acts as a pseudo ward in a way. If I don't get rid of it, if a sword player doesn't get rid of it, then you can trade into something like 3/3 and then Guidance played again, and very scary. He chooses to go with the Dance of Death though this turn. I don't think it was very strong. I think I would have preferred to see even like Roach Guidance Roach trade in. Just try to draw into your wards and things. There aren't any wards, and not using Guidance means you want to draw cards at this point, and you're not going to combo down from 17 anytime soon without any 0-cost fairies. Even with the fairy circle draw, it doesn't look good. Here, Made Leader plus the Angel of the Ward sets him with this Tsubaki attack to 5, which is lethal with Albert. And there aren't any answers here. And Sword wins. Plays Fairy Beast Roach here, but 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then 2 over with the evolve. Please let me know if you have any questions regarding any of the plays. Hopefully with a screenshot or a timestamp of what time, and I'd be happy to answer any questions for any of the difficult turns. Thank you for watching. This is Losers Round 4, and I'll be doing the other rounds as well, most likely.